Hey, what's going on out there? I would like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So before I get into this video, I would like to say if you're new here, I have two rules over at this channel. The first rule is for you to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and credit scores. The second rule is for you to verify everything that you learn, whether it's on this channel, another channel, or anywhere. That should be a rule to life. So getting into the video, I like to share the news on this channel for those of you who are new here. And the news that I'm sharing today should have everyone concerned. So I was reading an article on Fox the other day and it said credit card delinquencies have reached the worst since 2012, according to Fed data. Now, what they mean by Fed data, the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia, they recently did a study and they said that credit card delinquencies are the worst since 2012. And it's interesting because 2012 is actually the year when the Fed began tracking the data. And it's stating that all stages of credit card delinquencies rose during the fourth quarter of 2023. Now, that's 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days delinquencies. Now, some of you out there, you may be saying, hey, why does that even matter? You're talking about data from 2023. Well, when it comes down to data and statistics, they usually go on prior quarters, especially when it comes to the Fed. The Fed, they do this often. So that's why they're referring to the fourth quarter, which is the end of the year in 2023. Now, the article also mentioned that they expected this because during the fourth quarter, you have holidays. So if people do a lot of spending in November and December, they're getting stuff for Christmas, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, things like that. People go out and do a lot of spending. But it is alarming because these numbers continue to rise. And as the article stated, it's the highest since 2012. Think about how many Black Fridays and Thanksgivings and Christmas we have had since 2012. And for us to currently reach the highest is a problem. It's alarming, actually. So the article reads, nearly 3.5% of card balances were at least 30 days past due at the end of December, an increase of about 30 basis points from the previous quarter. The percentage of debts that are 60 and 90 days late also rose. So it wasn't just 30 days. It was also 60 and 90-day delinquencies, which those 90-day delinquencies, those came prior to the holiday season. So that means that people were carrying over balances in prior times, prior to going out and purchasing things for the holidays. So it wasn't just the holidays. When they mention that 90-day and even the 60-day, they're referring to times before Black Friday, Christmas, and things like that. The article also states, stress among cardholders was further underscored in payment behavior, the report said. The share of accounts making minimum payments jumped 34 basis points from the third quarter. And I always talk about that on this channel, about the whole minimum payments. And I'm going to further touch on that because that's a problem. Listen, in my opinion, if you cannot afford to make more than a minimum payments on a credit card, you should not be using a credit card. Now, I know some of you will come by and you will argue about that and you will say, hey, well, credit cards are extra help because of the economy and things like that. But if you can only make the minimum payment on a credit card, that shows that you are in a financial bind right now. That shows that you are in financial trouble. And for some reason, people like to view credit cards as an extra form of spending. And I was actually asked recently, like, what's my end game, because I come on here and I tell people about the great benefits about credit cards, but then I also come on here and I tell the news. As one guy came by and stated, it was like, hey, why do you want to focus on the negative when it comes to this? And all I have to say is I have to give you the rain and the sun. I can't just give you the sun. Think about everything in life, for instance. Think about the reason why there are criminal laws. Looking at it from an objective standpoint, there are criminal laws in place to prevent people from, one, hurting themselves, or two, hurting others. That's why criminal laws are in place. When you think about things such as basketball and football and things like that, there are referees in just about every sport. the reason why there are referees are for correction. Some people may argue and be like, well, the referees mess up the game. Some people may argue and be like, well, the law enforcement, they mess up life because they get in the way of criminal law and things like that. And those are all subjective opinions, of course. Now, there's pretty much balance to everything in life, minus credit cards. When you hear about credit cards, you usually always hear about the benefits and strictly the benefits. You rarely hear about the negative side of credit cards, and it's important. How is it that you can have things such as gluttony and people overeating, and there's always someone that comes along and corrects them, and they say things like, hey, if you don't stop eating, you're going to gain weight and be overweight, or you're going to have health problems or things like that. And trust me, I know I'm someone who's obviously overweight, so I know these things. But when it comes to credit cards, it's like, oh, no, don't touch that subject. Don't talk about the negative things, because we should just ignore it. And we should just talk about the great benefits and how these credit cards could work wonders for you. And oh, look at this free flight that I took, or this free hotel stay. No, we cannot do it that way. We have to talk about both sides of it. There's a reason why people like Dave Ramsey in the debt-free community constantly shun credit cards. In the credit card space, as I stated, the credit card space is not that big. The credit card space is not even as big as the debt-free community. Believe it or not, is nowhere near as big as it. But one of the reasons why people love credit cards so much is because they view it as extra spending, and they feel like, hey, this is free money, so I can just go and buy whatever I want. And then when the worst part comes and my account gets in collections, I'll just dispute it, or I'll just write it off with bankruptcy or something like that. But it doesn't have to get to that point, and it shouldn't get to that point. Credit cards, while they can get you in trouble, the trouble is avoidable if you know what you're doing. And that's what I like to try to shine light on this channel. Now, the article also mentions how the rise in credit card delinquencies is alarming, because right now the APRs on credit cards is the highest that it's ever been. And this is also something that I touched on this channel. And I'm going to continue to touch on this because a lot of people don't get it. If you cannot afford to pay off whatever you spend, then maybe you should not have a credit card. Now, of course, I can't get on here and tell you what to do. I'm not the ruler of your life. I can't direct your life, but I can tell you of the negative things that come along with you just spending without paying off whatever you spend. My channel is centered around credit cards as well as credit scores. So I can't just come on here and tell you all, hey, you should just get the most out of these cars and, take these flights and get this hotel stay and cash back and things like that, and not tell you about the negative aspect, because I care about credit scores. And that's what a lot of people don't tend to understand. I sometimes get people who come by and they say, hey, why do you make these type of videos? It's because if you're not doing one thing right, meaning if you're not managing your credit cards correctly, it's usually going to have a negative impact on your credit score. And as I stated, I care about credit scores. So that's why I like to mention these articles. That's why I bring these articles to you all, not only for you all to know what's going on in the news, but for you all to educate yourself on the topic as well. So as usual, the link to the article is going to be in the description box. Check it out when you get a chance. It's not a long read, but I want everyone to know you can reap the benefits of these credit cards. Get the most out of them. Get the points, get the cash back, whatever you want to get, even get a good credit score. But you also have to be aware about the negative aspects. And right now, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, this is not a good time to have a credit card if you do not know how to manage a credit card the correct way. It's actually the worst time to have one. And I want you all to know that. So if you're watching this right now and you're in a financial bind, or your finances are looking kind of shaky right now, you may want to reconsider not getting a credit card if you're considering getting one. If you've been thinking like, hey, should I sign up for an extra credit card because my finances are pretty low right now, or they're not in a good place? My answer to you, if you were to ask me, would be, hey, you may not want to consider doing that. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do, but if it was up to me, I wouldn't be doing it, because it's just going to create more debt. And I don't believe in creating more debt in order to help with debt. That's not smart to me. But Everyone has their own decisions to make in life. It's just my job over here at this Water Your Soil channel to alert you all of what's going on right now and what could be coming. But anyways, if you're new over here and you feeling the vibe, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video because I post often. That's clicking on that bell and selecting all. Also, this goes to every single one of you watching right now, my subscribers included. Be sure to hit the like button. It literally takes a second. Hit the like button. Let the algorithm know you support this channel. It's more about support than it is about the video because you may not relate to the video. Maybe you know this already, but that like actually helps the algorithm know that, hey, people support this video. They support this channel. And that helps this video go along the way and get pushed out to people who need to see this video if you already know what's going on. But anyways, I appreciate every single one of you for watching me, for supporting me. This is Water Your Soil, and I'm out. Wait. Before you leave, be sure to check out the description box below. That way you can have all the credit resources from Water Your Soil. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button as well, all right? In the description box below, I always tell people, check out the description box below for extra resources from Water Your Soil. Part of the description box also showcases my book that I have. I have a book. It's been out for a while now. It's been out for years. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. The book is available. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. Most online bookstores have the book. And the book is basically about how FICO credit scoring works. Once you understand how FICO credit scoring works, you're pretty much on your way to helping yourself build, develop, and maintain a good credit score. So check the book out whenever you get a chance.